Good day, ma'am. I am conducting an interview as part of a school requirement to understand how teachers use ICT tools in assessing students' learning. This conversation will be recorded with your permission. Your insights will greatly help me learn more about this topic. May I proceed?
Sure, you can proceed.
Can you please tell me your name and the grade level or your subject you teach?
Hello, I am Riza Samana and I am currently teaching here at Bantanga School here in Thailand, and I am teaching mathematics for grades 1, 2, and 3, arts for grades 3, 4, and 5, and also physical education for the grade 3.
How long have you been teaching?
I just graduated last May 2024, and I started teaching at Pinamagan Catholic College Incorporated last February up until the middle of April. It only lasted for like a couple of months, and I moved here in Thailand May 1, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And the school year or the academic year started just this May 13. So I'm currently on the process of like teaching for the whole academic year.
Only used to assess student learning, example Google Form, Kahoot, or learning management systems.
Since I am a multi-grade teacher and the students are diverse in many ways, I usually use variety of assessment tools assisted by ICT in order to assess the learning of my students. Specifically for grade 1, I usually use the gamification processes like the thing that you had told me, the Kahoot. I also use PowerPoint presentation or the PPT flashed in a projector, and then the students are opted to answer the questions that I had provided. For the grades 2 and 3, I usually use Google Form since they are more knowledgeable when it comes to technology. And of course, for the daily quizzes, the unit test or the summative test, I usually use the printed materials. So that's it.
How do these tools help you assess your student more effectively?
I think the most effective thing about these ICT tools that I've been using is the fact that it taps the interest and learning styles of my students, which makes them more drawn into the topics that I'm discussing. It guarantees that I am assessing the entire learning of my students, starting with their knowledge, their skills, and their attitude towards my subject or towards the subject that I am teaching them.
Can you share an example where you use ICT to assess student learning in a creative or impactful way?
I think with those features, ICT really helps me a lot in ensuring that I'm effectively assessing the students, which is in a manner that is appropriate to them, even if they are different in most ways.
What do you think are the advantages of using ICT for assessment compared to traditional method?
I think I've already mentioned about using gamification for my grade 1 class, right? Which is the Kahoot game. You know, typical first graders, they would have an attention for like 5 minutes, and then afterwards they would get bored for the entire class. And I think this is impactful. This ICT tool that I've used is impactful in a way that I am letting the students enjoy while learning. And I think enjoyment or fun-filled activities is actually a good thing to make them become more attentive to the class. So I think that's one of the best way in order for me to show that ICT really helps.
Have you encountered any challenges in using ICT for assessment? If yes, how did you handle them?
Conventional way of assessment is confined with the paper and pencil test. And I think ICT is more advantageous since it enhances our capacity and efficiency in terms of administering the assessment, since it is quicker, easier, lesser in terms of hassle, and more convenient for us teachers if we wanted to do our assessment processes.
How do students respond to ICT-based assessments? Do they see more engagement?
ICT tools are really a big help to us teachers. But of course, it has its own drawbacks or disadvantages. I remembered when I was teaching at BCC or Binalbagan Catholic College, I had this summative test flashed in a PowerPoint presentation. And I had experienced a power shortage. But luckily, I had printed materials prepared, and those printed materials serves as the reference for the quiz or the summative test that they will do. But I think if I had not prepared anything, I would have recited the entire summative and then let them answer manually. But I'm lucky, so I did not actually had too much in mind that time. As what I've said, ICT tools have its features that are thrilling, captivating, and are enjoyable to the audiences or to the students. And I think with these features, students are more engaged to the learning and assessment process. And to sum it all up, I think they are responding to it in a positive way.
Have you received any training or support in using ICT tools for assessment?
I did not receive a proper training in handling ICT tools, but I have the support and guidance from my compassionate mentors, colleagues, and heads. And of course, with their shared expertise, I could administer the ICT tools with accuracy and precision.
In your opinion, what kind of support or training would help teachers use ICT in assessment more effectively?
I think in order to enhance the effectivity of how a teacher handles the ICT tools in his or her classroom, workshops, trainings, and seminars would be a great help. With those activities, the teachers could refine their knowledge when it comes to using the ICT tools. And of course, they would have an opportunity to hone their skills in using such tools.
What advice would you give to new teachers who want to use ICT for assessing students' learning?
I think if you are a new teacher like me, I suggest that you must explore all of the ICT tools available in order to identify which way suits best to your students. I suggest also that you must not be afraid to try new approaches in assessing students. Trying will lead you into greater things. And it will only lead you to two consequences. First is you will have the certainty in which tool to use best. Second, you will gain lessons that would help you become better in handling assessment processes.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences in using ICT in assessment?
I think I have nothing left to share about my personal experiences in using ICT in assessments, but I have this one sort of an advice to aspiring teachers and to other teachers as well. When using ICT tools, make sure to have a plan B. Disruptions, technical issues, and unexpected circumstances or events might hinder you from achieving an effective evaluation. So just be careful and always be a step ahead from the things that might happen.
I would like to add one question. Can you share a short experience from your BCC days?
You mean experiences about using ICT tools in my BCC days?
Yes, ma'am, and also the grade level that you teach and the subject, and how long have you been teaching there?
If that's the case, I think I don't have more to share about my experiences in using ICT in assessment. I was only a substitute teacher at PCC for the grade 11 statistics and probability class. And I was only there for probably 2 months and a half. And most of my days there were filled with the suspension of classes due to high heat index. And I never really got an opportunity to assess my students that much using ICT tools. Aside from those that I have mentioned about the PowerPoint presentation that I had for summative test and also the printed materials for the exam.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and for sharing your insights. This will be very helpful for my learnings. Thank you, ma'am.
You are always welcome. I'm actually enjoying it since I got to enhance my communication skills. But I don't know if I made some minimal grammatical errors, but that will do. I hope you learned something meaningful from me. Thank you so much, too.